Why do birds vanish before a tsunami? Why do dogs howl before an earthquake strikes? For centuries, stories have circulated about animals behaving strangely just before natural disasters. From ancient observations to modern-day viral videos, the idea that animals possess a sixth sense for impending catastrophes has captivated humanity. But is there real science behind these incredible tales, or is it just folklore? Prepare to question everything you thought you knew about animal senses, because we're diving deep into the cutting-edge research that might just unlock nature's most mysterious warning system. Stay with us until the very end to unravel this incredible puzzle. Welcome to Young Curiosity, where we explore the world's most fascinating phenomena. If you're intrigued by the hidden abilities of the natural world, you're in the right place. Please take a moment to smash that like button, subscribe to Young Curiosity for more mind-bending insights, and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Your support helps us bring these incredible topics to life. Before we explore the how, let's look at some truly astonishing animal predictions. Take the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. Reports from Sri Lanka indicated that just before the devastating waves hit, wild animals like elephants, monkeys, and flamingos fled to higher ground. There were almost no dead animals found in affected wildlife parks, a stark contrast to the immense human death toll. Similarly, before the 2010 Haiti earthquake, zookeepers reported animals at the Port-au-Prince Zoo were agitated, barking, and refusing to settle hours before the tremor. In China, leading up to the 1975 Haicheng earthquake, authorities issued an evacuation order just hours before the magnitude 7.3 quake. Largely based on observations of snakes inexplicably emerging from hibernation, rats scurrying wildly, and farm animals showing extreme distress. This early warning saved thousands of lives. These aren't isolated incidents. Historical records from ancient Greece and Rome describe animals sensing quakes, and indigenous cultures often incorporate animal behavior into their disaster warnings. Have you ever witnessed an animal acting strangely before a storm or event? Share your story in the comments below. So what's going on? It's not magic. Scientists believe animals aren't predicting the future, but rather sensing subtle environmental changes that humans cannot detect. Aren't just sudden jolts. They're preceded by various phenomena: changes in electromagnetic fields, shifts in atmospheric pressure, release of gases from the ground, or even very faint ground vibrations known as P waves, which travel faster than the destructive S waves. Animals, with their heightened senses, might be picking up on these precursory signals long before our instruments do. Consider their hearing. Dogs can hear frequencies far beyond human range, potentially picking up subterranean rumbles that precede a quake. Birds are highly sensitive to changes in air pressure, which could signal approaching storms or even tsunamis. The idea of animals as natural sensors isn't new. For centuries, farmers and sailors relied on animal behavior to forecast weather. But modern science is looking for quantifiable evidence. One leading theory involves seismic activity. Before a major earthquake, there's often a period of increased stress in the Earth's crust, leading to tiny fractures. These microfractures can release charged particles, altering the local electromagnetic field. Some animals, like migratory birds or fish, are incredibly sensitive to magnetic fields for navigation. Could they be detecting these subtle shifts? Other research suggests that these ground stresses might also release radon gas or other volatile chemicals from the Earth. Animals with highly developed senses of smell, like rats or even insects, might react to these gases escaping from the ground before a tremor. It's a complex puzzle, but scientists are starting to piece together the possibilities. Another compelling theory focuses on changes in water. Before tsunamis or volcanic eruptions, there can be subtle shifts in water chemistry, temperature, or even slight ground deformation that affects underground water sources. Fish, marine mammals, and even amphibians are highly attuned to their aquatic environments. Changes in salinity, pH, or dissolved oxygen might prompt fish to swim erratically or seek deeper waters. This could explain why certain marine creatures disappear from coastal areas before a tsunami hits. Similarly, animals that rely on water holes in arid regions might notice subtle changes in water levels or composition before a drought worsens. Imagine a deep-sea creature sensitive to minute changes in pressure. It might sense the displacement of water long before a surface wave forms. Research efforts around the world are trying to turn these anecdotal observations into verifiable data. In Italy, a study on toads showed that a colony of male toads abandoned their breeding pond days before a significant earthquake struck the region. Researchers believe the toads may have detected changes in groundwater composition or ionization caused by the seismic activity. Special sensors are now being deployed in earthquake-prone areas to monitor animal behavior alongside geological data. Some projects are even attaching tiny GPS trackers to wild animals like goats or cattle in earthquake zones, hoping to correlate their movements with seismic events. The challenge is filtering out normal animal behavior from genuine alarm signals. Do you think we could build AI systems that are as sensitive to natural disasters as animals? Tell us your thoughts. However, validating these claims scientifically is incredibly difficult. Natural disasters are unpredictable, making it hard to set up controlled experiments. Many observations are retrospective, based on human memory, which can be biased. The lack of standardized monitoring methods also makes it challenging to compare results across different studies. Scientists also debate whether animals are sensing the imminent disaster itself, or just very early, subtle changes in their environment that humans ignore or cannot perceive. It might not be a prediction in the human sense, but an instinctive reaction to an unpleasant or unusual stimulus. For example, the infrasound, very low-frequency sound waves, generated by earthquakes or large storms, travels further and faster than sounds audible to humans. Animals with keen hearing, like elephants or pigeons, might pick up these infrasonic cues. Despite the challenges, the potential benefits of understanding animal disaster prediction are enormous. If we could reliably interpret these biological warning systems, it could revolutionize early warning systems, especially in remote areas where technological infrastructure is limited. Imagine a network of biosensors, animals whose unusual behavior could trigger alerts, buying precious time for evacuations. This could save countless lives, particularly in developing countries vulnerable to natural hazards. This field, often dubbed zooseismology for earthquakes, is gaining more attention as technology allows us to better monitor both animals and the environment. The scientific community remains cautious but open. While skepticism is healthy, the sheer volume of anecdotal evidence throughout history suggests there's something real happening. Researchers are now deploying sophisticated sensors like accelerometers and GPS loggers directly on animals to gather precise data on their movements and physiological responses before, during, and after subtle environmental shifts. This data, combined with advanced machine learning, might help us identify consistent patterns that indicate an impending disaster. It's about moving from animal lore to animal science. Ultimately, the ability of animals to predict disasters isn't about magic. It's about their deep connection to the earth and their finely tuned senses. As we continue to push the boundaries of technology, perhaps the oldest warning systems, those of the natural world, hold the key to protecting humanity from its most formidable threats. The subtle whispers of nature, once dismissed as superstition, may yet become our most vital alarms. What other animal abilities do you find most mysterious? Comment below and let us know.